Michael used to believe silence meant peace. After years of noise, work calls, traffic, deadlines, arguments with his own thoughts, silence felt like rest. So when his 13-year-old son, Ethan, slowly became quiet, Michael didn't panic. He assumed it was just age, growing up, becoming independent. But silence isn't always peace. Sometimes it's pain learning how to survive quietly. It started with small things. Ethan stopped asking for help with homework, stopped talking about his day, stopped laughing at jokes that used to make him roll on the floor. Michael noticed, but he didn't question it, because questioning meant admitting that something might be wrong, and admitting something is wrong means you have to face it. And Michael was tired. Soon, other signs followed. Ethan began waking up early, not to play games or watch cartoons like he used to, but to sit alone at the kitchen table, staring at nothing while the house slept. Some nights, Michael would pass his son's room and see the light still on at 2 a.m. Sometimes he heard Ethan whispering to himself. When he asked, "Are you okay, son?" Ethan always replied the same way. "I'm fine, Dad." But Michael started noticing something about that answer. People say, "I'm fine," when they don't want to be saved. Michael decided what many parents decide when they feel powerless. He chose control. He made rules. No locked doors, no staying up late, no eating alone in your room, no silence at dinner. He thought structure would bring his son back, but the more rules he added, the quieter Ethan became. Not angry, not rebellious, just smaller, as if he were slowly disappearing in front of his own father. One evening, while cleaning the living room, Michael found something strange. A school notebook hidden behind the couch. He opened it, expecting homework. Instead, he found pages filled with sentences written in shaky handwriting. "I should be stronger. They wouldn't laugh if I wasn't weird. Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. Be normal, be normal, be normal." Michael closed the notebook quickly, not because he didn't care, but because he cared too much. And sometimes caring feels terrifying. Days passed. Ethan stopped eating properly, started wearing long sleeves, even in the heat. Then came the bruises. Not on his arms, not on his legs, but on his confidence. He flinched when Michael raised his voice, not in fear of his father, but in fear of being noticed. Then Michael found the papers in the trash, crumpled, wet from tears. "I wish I could disappear. No one would miss me. I'm tired of trying. I'm tired of pretending." Michael felt his chest tighten every time he read them, but still, he said nothing. Because sometimes parents stay silent not because they don't care, but because they're afraid they already failed. One Saturday morning, Ethan left his bedroom door unlocked. Michael stood in the hallway for almost 10 minutes. Was he invading privacy or saving his child? In the end, he chose to believe this: a father's duty is not to respect silence, but to protect life. He entered the room. Under the bed, he found a small box. Not locked, not hidden, just waiting. On top of it, written in shaky ink, were the words, "Only open if I'm not brave enough to talk." Michael's heart dropped. He opened the box. Inside were drawings. A boy standing in a crowd, but no one looking at him. A boy screaming, but no sound coming out. A boy shrinking, smaller and smaller in every picture. And at the bottom,
a folded letter. Michael sat on the floor to read it.
Dad, I don't know how to say this out loud, so I'm writing it instead. I tried to be the son you could be proud of. I tried to be quiet so I wouldn't disturb you. I tried to be strong so you wouldn't worry, but I'm failing at all of it. His hands began to shake. Every day at school, they laugh at me. They hide my dag. They trip me in the hallway. They whisper when I pass. And when I tell the teachers, they say I should be tougher. So I learned how to suffer quietly. Michael covered his mouth. Sometimes I sit in class and imagine what it would feel like if I wasn't here anymore. Not because I want to die, but because I want the pain to stop. Then the line that destroyed him. Dad, you always told me to be strong. I tried, but I think I misunderstood what strong really means. Michael dropped the letter. And cried. Not softly, not quietly. He cried like a man who finally understood he had been teaching his son how to hide pain instead of how to share it. That night, Michael didn't knock on Ethan's door. He sat on the floor beside it. When Ethan opened the door, he froze, not expecting anger, not expecting discipline, but seeing tears in his father's eyes. Michael spoke slowly. Son, I need you to forgive me before I ask you anything else. Ethan didn't understand, but he listened. I taught you how to survive, Michael said, but I forgot to teach you how to be safe with me. Ethan tried to hold it in.
But tears escaped anyway. Not loud, not dramatic, just quiet tears, like a dam finally breaking. For the first time in months, Ethan cried in someone's arms, not alone, not hiding, but safe. The change didn't happen overnight. Some days Ethan still stayed quiet, some nights he still woke up afraid, but now he talked. And Michael listened, not to correct, not to fix, just to understand. They met with the school, they spoke to counselors, they moved Ethan to a different class later, but the real healing started at home. They began eating breakfast together, walking in the evenings, sitting in silence without pressure. Michael learned something powerful. Children don't always need solutions. Sometimes they just need safety. Months later, Michael found the box again. This time, he didn't open it alone. He called Ethan into the room. Together, they sat on the floor. Ethan removed the old letter and replaced it with a new one. Dad, I thought strength meant suffering alone. Now I know strength means trusting someone with your pain. Thank you for becoming the father I was too scared to ask for. Michael held that letter longer than he held any achievement in his life, because no promotion, no success, no money ever felt as powerful as saving your child by simply listening. Sometimes the people we love aren't hiding secrets. They're hiding pain because they don't want to be a burden. If you're watching this and you've been silent lately, you don't have to be strong like that anymore. And if you're a parent, a friend, a partner, don't wait for the signs to scream. Listen when they whisper, because silence is not peace. Sometimes it's a heart begging to be heard.